Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we're taking a look at Ethena. I'm not a financial advisor. Make sure to do your own research before investing money into crypto. We're on CoinMarketCap and the current market cap of Ethena is sitting at $4.5 billion. So this is, in the high cap range. I would say anything above $3 billion is a high cap altcoin. You could maybe say 5 to 10 billion, maybe above that level would be a high cap. Depends on how you want to set your standards, but it is listed on most major centralized exchanges, so there's lots of opportunities and ways to get the coin. It's not on a few obscure centralized exchanges, and they're also available on DEXs. There's a lot of volume on DEXs, which is great. And it has been trading since April last year, and we've been printing subsequent lower highs. So there is some sort of a downtrend here, at least with the highs. We're going to jump into the chart right now and take a look at what's going on. So this is the daily chart. And as you can see, we've slapped on a Fibonacci from the bottom in June 2025 to the top in December 2024. And right now what happened is, after this major breakout from the falling wedge pattern, we are hovering and back testing the 0.618. So that's around 67 cents. If I zoom in a little bit more, you can see that this level was retested multiple times. So previously in May and June 2024, we had two back tests from within this block before eventually breaking down into that low in September last year. Then we had the massive rally with the Trump, or rather the elections. And it went up 580%. After that, we had a correction here. So that was 83%, so pretty hefty. And now from June, we're up approximately 284%, almost 4x. And we're hovering above the 20 daily EMA as well. So this is quite healthy. But if we take a look at the relative strength index, we can spot a bearish divergence here. Okay, actually there was two bearish divergences, as the bot is showing us here. So that's essentially when the price action is printing higher highs while the RSI is printing lower highs. That's exactly what we have been seeing. And it's not a major bearish divergence, right? It's a small one. And maybe that has already played out. The effects of the divergence already played out. But it's possible we might see a further continuation of this correction, of this retracement rather, not a correction. And maybe we could get down to the 0.5 at roughly 54 cents. So that would be a great area to take a look at. But I would not advise getting into Ethena at this point in time, because we've almost 4x'd in 2 months or so. So you don't want to be buying the local tops. You want to wait until the price starts dropping. Maybe there's going to be a crash in September, because September is usually a red month. And if we take a look at the RSI, maybe you wait until we drop below the middle line here, which is the index of 50. So if we drop below that, that would be a better time to buy. Or even if we maybe get oversold, if there's a capitulation, we get below the index of 30, that's going to be an even better buying opportunity. But of course we can't guarantee that. This falling wedge played out perfectly here. We had a few bounces off of the support. In fact, we had 1, 2, 3, and then 4 bounces, with 4 bounces off of the resistance and with a subsequent breakout. So the target was perfectly met and then retested here at the 0.382. That was 44 cents. And from there we continued to the upside. I can add a Fibonacci specifically to that small fractal there, just so we can see what happened. So we perfectly got to the second fib level here. Okay, so we broke through, we retested the 1.272, came back back tested the previous top here, and then we continued to the 1.618, retesting the 1.272, and then getting to the second fib level. So this played out perfectly. Now we could expect a potential move down to 53 cents to all the way down to 44 cents, 45 cents. So you can target this previous May 2025 high. That's still a level that we can retest if things go south. So far, we are only down 20%. If we continue dropping here to 45 cents, that's going to be a 47% correction, which is not out of the question. As long as we are above this low, that's all that matters. So we want to be printing higher highs and higher lows. Now, let's say we were to break past the December 2024 top. We're going to be looking at $2.17 as your minimal target in this cycle. And then right after that, we have the 1.618 at $4. So those are going to be your two major targets. You can also take a look at the the 1.414 if you want. But this is a really positive move for Ethena. As long as we can, it would be very nice to hold above the golden ratio, but the markets are dropping slightly, so it's possible we're going to slip up and maybe retest the 0.5. And if that does happen, that's a great area to DCA, but I wouldn't be buying Ethena at these levels, right? If there is a capitulation, let's say we drop below 40 cents, at that point I would consider getting in. At these levels, it's not something that I would like to pick up. There are other coins with similar market caps that are way safer. I would look at Near Protocol, at BitTensor. Those projects have more, they're more trustworthy, at least from the research that I've done. I'm not too familiar with Ethena, but I would probably go with something like Near or BitTensor if we're talking about $4 to $5 to $3 billion of market cap. Okay. So that's a quick breakdown for us. Not much to discuss here. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, we do have a descending trend line here. So every time we come up, we hit this resistance trend line. We can even draw some sort of a channel here. That's going to be an easier way of presenting. So every time we have a move to the upside, we run into this channel, and then we have a move to the downside. So one could argue, it would make logical sense to assume if we're going to have a correction, some sort of a black swan event, it's totally possible for us to crash all the way down to 27-ish cents, because there's also a trend line here, right, that we've been holding since September last year. And for those of you that know patterns, at least a little bit, you can see that this is a symmetrical triangle here. And it's a non-biased pattern. So it's 50-50. There's no bias towards the upside or the downside. So as long as we're in the pattern, we should expect to continue adhering to the pattern's support and resistance, which means that right now we should be expecting a move to the downside. However, an alt season is looking very likely. Okay, it's very likely we're going to be seeing an alt season before the end of the year. Therefore, I would say I wouldn't be expecting a move all the way down to the support unless there is a massive crash for some economic reason, maybe a war breaks out, God forbid, then the markets would crash. Otherwise, I would be expecting a retracement and a continuation and hopefully a break above this resistance block. So that would be great news for Ethena if we can get above this blue resistance, and we'll see what happens from there. But like I said, $4 from here should be a good target. From where we are right now, that's approximately another 6x, and that would put us at more than around $25 to $30 billion. I can't think right now. My brain isn't braining. That should be it. Yeah, let me know what are your thoughts on Ethena. Thank you all for watching this video. Stay safe, everyone, and goodbye.